My name is Shawna Quattlebaum, and this is my story. I've been married to Jeremy Quattlebaum for 15 years, and God blessed us with two sweet girls, Tatiana and Kira. Jeremy had felt a calling to go to Haiti. After returning, he felt like the Lord was calling him in to do missions or ministry in some way or shape or form. And I did not feel the same calling as he did. It took God a year later to work in my heart, and I felt the calling to go into ministry also with him. Cadence International is a mission organization who served the military, and we had knew the executive director of Cadence, and so he kind of had pursued us to look into going through Cadence. And as we researched it and went on a small trip to Germany to check out what Cadence was about, we definitely felt like this is where God wanted our family, that we could serve as a family unit with Cadence. And as we came back, we started the process of becoming missionaries with them. And through the process, we thought that we were going to be going to Okinawa, Japan, is kind of what was on our heart, and what we thought that's where they were going to send us. And shortly before we found out where we were going, we had a detour, and it took us to Fort Bragg, North Carolina instead. And I went in very resistant towards North Carolina to understand why we had to take this route instead of going straight to Okinawa instead. So I went in with my arms tightly closed and just struggled with why we were there and what did we do so wrong to get put there versus in Okinawa, being that we were new missionaries. And so for the first 6 months, I just really struggled with why we were in North Carolina, why we had to be there. And so with that, I just had a lot of anxiety and stress, and also telling two girls that you are going to be there versus going to Japan was not easy for them either, because they had their mindset on going to Japan also. And as we went to North Carolina, we were under the assumption we would be there less than a year. And a few months in, they told us our time was extended in North Carolina even longer. Got a little angry with God and asked him, like, why does things keep changing, and why do we have to keep waiting and feeling just was kind of in a lonely spot and discouraged, and just trying to understand his process in this and his timing and when the next step was going to take place. Two weeks ago, we received word that we are released to go to the field, and that we were 96% funded, and that this means that we can go ahead and begin our visa process. So we submitted our visa, and it takes anywhere from 4 to 12 weeks for our visas to come through. We're just trusting God that his timing is perfect. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and we have a date. We are just getting excited to have stability and to go over and serve the military in Japan and love on them, and just so thankful that God had us go through the things we had to go through to get to this point, because we've had to rely on him in different ways and trust him, and to know that he's in control and we're not in control. And this is very clear with the visas, because we've released it and nothing is in our control, and this is ultimately up to God's control and his timing in our life. Our girls are somewhat on board. It's going to be hard to say goodbye, but they're also ready to go and to serve and just see a different part of the world. And so we are thankful for the trials and the tribulations that we had to go through, so that we feel prepared and we feel strengthened. And the verse in Isaiah 40:31 keeps coming to my mind. Those that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not grow weary. They shall walk and not faint. We have claimed this verse over our family for the last 6 years, and we're just holding on to His truth and what He says. And we are excited to be in the new place that He has called us and the new adventures He has us on. Even though it was a super long wait and it felt like forever, I'm thankful for God's timing. I'm glad I'm not in control, because I would have rushed His will for our life, and I would have missed out on a lot of teaching moments and some healing, and I wouldn't have the strength I have now, and I don't think that I would be as able to do the work without having to go through the wait. And it grew me closer to Him and grew me closer to my family, and so I'm thankful on this end that it was a wait, because He can teach us so much in a waiting time, and that we have to completely depend on Him for all we have.